Here's a little look at a race tranny. Here while I'm down here. There's a FTC first gear shaft, aluminum spool. Looks like a 388 ring and pinion, micro knighted. Early model tranny case, gusseted. We got the chrome moly pinion support there on the pinion. We got an extra heavy duty side plate. Say hi, Tommy. Let me zoom in. There's Tommy. That's Scooter's buddy. I'm down at R&S Performance today. So yeah, you can get a few pictures of the. There's a couple world records there on the wall. IHRA. So there's some parts. Volkswagen parts, all you want. Here we have the aisle of motors over here. Got a let me see, there's 13 motors sitting over. Here's the Superflow turbo motor that Scooter built years ago for the Pickle guy that races up in North Carolina. I don't know why it's still here. What is it? Yeah. Oh, and this is pretty cool too. This is a saw motor. This is a 69 by 92 motor, and it runs a sawmill. It's pretty cool stuff. They've powder coated everything and refurbished it. It's a single port too, so it's sort of rare. But it's got the hydraulic stuff there, alternator, and they welded some sort of apparatus to the end of the crankshaft there. That's where the flywheel would normally be. This is the support bearing for it. And we got a few stockers, fiberglass deck lid there. More parts. When I first started working here, this was all empty. There was no loft up here. World record holder banner. We got it painted on the wall. So, this is some sort of a stroker motor with Potter rods. And, there's a set of Corella rods. Or those are actually CB Performance. If I can get the camera to focus there. There we go. This is another stroker motor. It looks at the pin location with a scat rod in it. Another 48 ID8 motor sitting there complete, ready to go. And this little car right here is the car that I learned how to drive in. Right here is what started all of it. I probably would have never had a Volkswagen if it wouldn't have been for Flash here. That's the name of this car. And when I used to work here, we built this car. It used to run like 1220s. And we'd go drive around and terrorize Orlando in it. And I remember the first day I got to drive this thing. You know, it was like it was yesterday. I tried to drop the clutch in it and act like I knew what I was doing, and Scooter's like, nope, get out, let me show you what to do. And he just put it down on the wood and dropped the clutch. And ever since then, I was off to breaking trannies. But so we're out here in the jungle. We're trying to get a clip for Lily today. This is 64. This is one of my old 67s. I think the clip will work off of it. It's back in here is the only problem. So I'm gonna have to do some clearing. And we're gonna have to get to this car somehow and cut the front clip off of it. So that's what we'll be doing today. I'll get you some videos. I know some of you guys liked the jungle tour last time, so I'm going to shoot it again. Again, we're at R&S Performance in Orlando, Florida. All these parts are for sale and available, so if you see anything you need, just drop me a tab. There's pretty much anything you need for a Volkswagen here. As you can see, there's plenty of them, and Sorry for the shaky camera work. I know some of you guys really hate that, but don't fucking watch. This is the Wack Shack. This is what we used to call it. And this sort of got overgrown. There's my old paint cabinet from 30 years ago. That was it. There's the old race car Carmen Ghia front end that got knocked in a couple of pieces. I actually, you see this front end's cut in half in 2 pieces. I took half of this front end and made a front end out of it, which is still over here. This is a pretty cool deal. The guy that ended up buying this Carmen Ghia from a buddy of mine, we built this car here, or I should say Kenny built it. Mike Miltenberger ended up buying the car, and he raced the car for several years and ended up crashing it. This is the front end we cut in half and made one out of, so that's still in pretty good shape.
This is the nice side over here.
Yeah, I'm sure this is for sale too still. So
I don't know.
that might be a piece of history they're going to keep. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be something we're going to hang on the wall.
Yeah, we're going to hang that on the wall. We got parts of that car all over the place. It was a pretty cool car. I think they set a hot BW record with it. Kenny went, I think 6 flat, 608. When Kenny used to have the car. There's a quarter panel and door up on the ceiling. So, abracadabra. It was a wild ride for sure. I probably would have fixed that car, but I didn't get consulted. They just cut it up with a chainsaw. Well, they cut it up with a sawzall and threw it away. So probably was best. Somebody was probably going to eventually get hurt in that car. I drove it once with my motor in it and blew it up in 3rd gear because we had the boost level set wrong. But it was a hell of a ride. I think it went 10:06 at 70 miles an hour, so it was on a hell of a pass. But never made it to the finish line. There's a couple Berg cranks. These are the good Swedish forged 1-piece that you can't get anymore. There's 2 of them. There's so many Volkswagen parts in this building I can't even start to explain it, man. Carry and stock a lot of the Berg stuff here. These are all cams, different grinds. These are all Bosch tune-up parts. Got some horns up there, some more camshafts, some K10s, some FK89s, FK7s, sorted fuel line, bearings, tranny retaining rings, pinion bearings, lifters, windage tubes. I mean, you name it, dude, it's in this office. So scooter's starting to wind down a little bit, so if there's anything in here you see that you might want or be interested in, leave me a little email. And if you need any Volkswagen parts, anything you need, just leave me a list and I can get pretty much whatever you need. You give me the list, I'll get with Scooter and see what he wants for the stuff and see what he has, and I can ship it to you or whatever you need to do. So he's got a lot of hard to find tranny parts. There's a assortment of old axles. Here's an old ring and pinion that's been deburred and polished. Usually when we build a tranny here, we deburr all the gears, polish everything. Scooter's probably one of the best tranny builders in the country. He builds the tranny on my car. I think I got 58 passes on my tranny now, and 132 60 foot, 9-second ETs. So
Wow.
there was a time where I'd break one every 8 passes when we used to learn how to what we were doing wrong. Now you can buy some parts that weren't available in the old days, and the technology's come a little longer, so Noel's probably the biggest tranny breaker in the shop now. He's got 4 or 5 cars he races, so he's always hurting stuff, but he's got a wide selection of parts, and it's because of Noel that we've made leaps and bounds in the tranny deal. Fortunately, Noel got the takeover when the parts became available, and after I got done racing, destroying trannies, he took it over, and I think they made some more advancements. He had a little more of a budget to work with, so he got to try some of the later stuff. Here's some more cranks over here. Looks like a Scat or no Crassa right there. A lot of the MP cranks are copied off the old Crassa crank, you know, real small counterweights. There's a nice Bird flywheel. Set of big valve heads there. Some mild heads though. I don't have any real wild stuff to show you out right here now, but there's some old 42 DC&Fs. Just a little bit of everything here. All right. You guys probably seen enough little Volkswagen tour here. We're gonna go ahead and turn the camera off, and hopefully we can get the cutting here soon. Scooter's got some customers from out of town he's spending a little time with. So as soon as he gets done with them, we'll get out back and start cutting that car up. There's another little motor sitting around, 42s on it, DC&Fs. We used to use these carburetors a lot. We either use the DC&Fs here or the 48 IDAs. We're not real big fans of the 44 MPXs or any of that stuff. They do work, but you know, sort of limited on the performance that they'll let you achieve. So, some cylinder heads, used stuff. And here's some more cylinder heads over here that are done. And when I worked here, I used to do all the cylinder heads, and we'd have this whole shelf ready to go with brand new stuff. But business is sort of changing in the Volkswagen industry. You know, people don't spend the money, and they're not driving the cars as much as they used to. But we used to keep long box up on this shelf. We'd have them from there to there, and we'd have everything from 1776s to, you know, 2180s, whatever you wanted, you know. And of course, we build the stock stuff too. So now most of the work here is high performance work or custom stuff. There's not a lot of people that are driving Volkswagens for daily drivers anymore. Instead of aluminum retainers. All right, instead of 48 IDAs over there. I'll let you guys go, and we'll get this downloaded later. Probably be later tonight. I'll be here most of the day probably, so I'll talk to you later.